Is this even recording? If you want to see what it looks like to try to record a video or a podcast, this is the sausage being made. This is super interesting. Are you loving it? I don't even know if I'm in focus. Motherfucker. This is what it is, guys. And this is why I don't do many. Because honestly, sometimes I just lose the desire to want to do it. See all this that I have to deal with?
Your longest microphone table.
Hello. Thank you for joining my channel. As you can see, sometimes you can lose the motivation to record. I almost did. You'll probably hear that's my cat in the background. So, thank you for joining. Welcome to Negative Art Productions. I've got some really exciting news besides my cat. I am going to film where I've been telling my stories, where the stories take place. So I love podcasts and I love hearing ghost stories, but I love film and video as a medium, if you couldn't tell yet. So I am going to film where the stories took place. The most exciting part, but before I get to that, I was on an episode of the Ghost Story Guys. I don't know how. Last time I made it on their show as well, and I got featured again, which is super cool. And I got the Prancing Gremlin. So yes, thank you for your support. We got it up. I mean, I'm getting there. I'm almost to 350. That's my goal. So that's what I want to do. So that's very exciting news. The other exciting news is that I'm going to interview my father because he claims to have been abducted by aliens. I shit you not. I thought about telling a story myself for this week, but what I'm going to do this weekend is film my dad's alien abduction story because he claims to have been abducted by aliens. And I have a follow-up story to that, and it's going to be me having an experience related to an unexplainable phenomenon. But in that situation, my dad was telling a story about aliens, and it affected something in our physical realm. I can't make any of this up. It's insane what happened to me. I've had it locked away for so long because you can't just tell people, because I tried in high school and everyone thought I was crazy. I tried in college. Got a little bit more accepting, but now I tell people when I can gauge and think that they'll understand, and it's been working because then they tell their ghost stories, and it's really cool. So I have a follow-up to that. Really exciting stuff. I am ditching my kids and my wife to go film this, and I have DV footage. Sorry, I'm looking for a tape. Yeah, I can't find any. But I have DV tapes of the original area as well. Very exciting stuff. So I am going to film that next week. I did want to tell a short story, just so you're not completely not getting a story. So this actually happened around the time of the guy. All of this is 100% true, and it doesn't make sense. If you remember at the end of the guy, I did say that my friend called me, and he said that he had a dream that a guy was chasing me. This friend had paranormal experiences in a house his parents technically renovated and left some of the original structure. I'm not going to give the address for privacy reasons, just because I haven't talked to this person in a very long time. I'm not even going to give the city or name, but we'll call him Eric. It's not his real name at all. So Eric moved in. Well, hold on, let me back up. Before he moved in, it was an old house in the country. And it took about 15 minutes to drive there, and you knew it was in the country because you had to take a dirt road. A windy dirt road with very little light pollution in what's basically northern Minnesota. Oh man, so many stories are flooding to mind when I was just going to tell this one. But I think this is probably the best introduction. We would go out, and there's a theme here, because in The Guy, I talk about toilet papering someone's house. Well, in this, teenager, middle of nowhere, what are you going to do? Cause slight mayhem. Not really. So we're off the country road, and at the end of the country road was what we called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. And I don't know if you know this, but most of classic horror movies, the serial killers were based off of Ed Gein, who was from Wisconsin. We called it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house because it had the same architecture as the house from the movie that came out around that time. The remake, I know, the original's way better, don't get me wrong, please don't think that I like the remake. We saw this creepy house in the day, and it also reminded me of the X-Files episode with the people living in the walls. And that's kind of what it was like. And in the middle of the night, we literally heard a rocking chair and a baby crying. Nobody tended to the baby, but you heard the rocking chair, but no other voice. And we could picture and visualize what it looked like. So we did our dastardly deeds. And on the way back home to his house, we heard and the baby crying. Like that, exactly like that. It wasn't, I don't know, it sounded like a recording, like a hi-fi recording, you know? All the bass and middle is cut out and it's just high treble. You know, like classic radio. It's crazy, didn't sound real. That was all that happened, we didn't see anything. Well, next week I'm gonna film and show you where the guy was. I'm gonna show you where we found the huge cross carved into the tree in that area where the house burnt down. My sister remembers. But also, the coolest part of next week, we are going to watch my dad tell the story about how he got abducted by aliens. And I shit you not, I remember this story. I talked to him this week, a couple days ago, so I've had a lot of exciting things. Got featured on the Ghost Story Guys. My dad called me, was just in a really good mood after celebrating his 70th birthday. You'll get to see him tell the story about when he was abducted by aliens. I remember it happening. He agreed to it. You'll see that next week. Thanks for coming. Have a spooky night.